Welcome to Art and Object's first catalogue for 2011, and we're really blessed this time. I think it's the largest catalogue that we've ever produced, over 1,000 lots, and we have got 5 superb collections in this catalogue. Now before Ben Plumley and James Parkinson and myself take you through some of the highlights of this catalogue, I just want to remind you of the starting times of the auctions this week. On Tuesday, the 1st of March, we have the new collector's art, which of course includes the Gregory Flint collection and the Bob Harvey collection, and that starts at 6 o'clock on Tuesday. We've got a big day on Wednesday. On Wednesday the 2nd, that's the Douglas Lloyd Jenkins collection, the decorative arts, the modern furniture, and we're starting at 5:30, so please note those start times, particularly for Wednesday. And then on the Thursday, we're starting at our normal time of 6:30, and on Thursday we have the Oceanic Arts and this fabulous collection of Asian arts and the Arts of the Samurai from Harry Papaferatis.
Gregory Flint will be known to many of you as probably one of Auckland's leading art dealers of the 1990s. He had a wonderful gallery down in the old Saatchi building, down on the Strand there in Parnell, and was responsible, I think, for showing some of the most important shows in the 1990s. Wonderful and very important exhibitions by people like Michael Kofi, Ronnie Van Hout, Bill Hammond, of course, and unfortunately Gregory passed away late last year. His estate comprises of around 60 artworks and also a collection of over 100 reference books. So we're going to start on Tuesday night with the reference books. There's a wonderful little library there, and we've bundled them up into a wonderful assortment of different books. There's rare volumes on New Zealand artists like Gordon Walters, good catalogues on Colin McCann, but also a wonderful collection of international art books, and they're all to be offered at no reserve. So for those of you who love art books, and I know I do and many people do, come along on Tuesday night. That will start the sale at 6 o'clock and also start the Gregory Flint collection. One of my favourite works in the Gregory Flint collection, and the one which sort of sums it up, is this wonderful photograph by Marie Shannon, and it's entitled In the Gregory Flint Gallery, and you can see that wonderful kind of conflation of sculpture and photography which Marie Shannon does comes to the fore here quite beautifully. She's constructed a wee scene which features Gregory Flint as the gallerist there, reclining there in front of his desk, in the process of making the big call to try and sell one of these works on the walls. That's absolutely lovely and a really, really nice thing to start the sale off. It's lot 1. One of the things that Greg Flint was probably responsible for was ushering in contemporary photography and helping it gain greater meaning in contemporary art circles. And one of the artists he was very successful in doing that with was Peter Perrier. And I think there's 6 or 7 wonderful Perrier photographs from Greg's estate, and they vary from sort of the later digital prints, and they cover that transition in Peter's work from the analogue photography into the digital, such as this edamame, which is showing up the top there, which is the photo, of course, of the edamame beans, which I'm sure you'll all be familiar with at your lunchtimes, and also the photograph of the 3 monkeys. As well as that, there's some rather earlier and more classic images, such as the wonderful image of the tumblers, and one of my favourites is this wonderful image. You can see the effect that German photography was having on Peter at this stage. There's that wonderful kind of new objectivity going on there that you see in people like Bernd and Hildebrecht's work, which with the facade of the building filling up the whole of the picture plane, so that's quite lovely. And there's several Gavin Chilcots in the collection, and also 3 wonderful collaborative works with Gavin Chilcot and Bill Hammond. And they come on the market from time to time, and they really are a fantastic example of what can be great about when artists collaborate.
We're also very privileged in the sale to offer the Douglas Lloyd Jenkins collection. Douglas Lloyd Jenkins, of course, director of the Hawke's Bay Museum and author of definitive New Zealand design publications, such as the At Home publication. And really this sale is a reference collection of New Zealand furniture and New Zealand ceramics. For example, we have a couple of fine period, 1950s period Makima John Jansen chairs beside me here, and nice to see these in completely original condition. So, and very rare to find. Similar chairs featured in the 1950s show a few years ago. And likewise, we have a couple of Garth Chester Astoria chairs, this one with a later covering and one behind it in its original covering. So again, vintage pieces of Chester furniture. As well as being a reference collection of furniture, as I said, there is a reference collection of New Zealand ceramics as well, and we have some very, very fine and early Newcastle pieces in the sale from Douglas's collection, including two very, very early salt glazed vases, this being one up. These pieces are always very, very sought after. And this is one of my personal favourites in the sale, this Castle very, very early salt glazed bottle vase, and just relying on the simple form and the glaze, and it's so effective. These pieces really come to market nowadays, and when they do, they are keenly sought after. And this is an example from Douglas's collection.
Lot 1078 is one of the feature items of this extraordinary oceanic collection. Collected in the 1950s on the island of Malakula. I'm not going to attempt to describe this. I'm actually just going to read the caption from the catalogue, because this is a very rare item that usually is not seen outside a specific ceremony. So I'm just going to read from the catalogue here. The figure, painted in red ochre, white mineral pigment, represents one of the young boys during a grade ceremony. Prior to the grade ceremony, the boys spend 9 months in a small hut away from the village and are visited and taught by village elders in preparation for life as an adult. At the conclusion of the grade ceremony, Temes Nevambure figures are typically destroyed or left to degrade on the forest floor. This rare example, and this very piece here, was collected in the interior of Malakula Island in the 1950s and is in fine original condition. That is one of the hallmarks of this collection. It's been in storage for many years in superb condition. The pigments are particularly rich, and the colour is brilliant in many of these pieces. And again, we've had a lot of interest in these items, and I would really urge anybody interested in the arts of Melanesia and Polynesia to come in and see this collection. It really is something special. The entire catalogue is able to view, of course, at Art and Object, 3 Abbey Street in Newton in Auckland until the days of the auction, which of course are March the 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and the catalogue can be viewed online at www.artandobject.co.nz. Don't forget to check out the news section on our website, because we're regularly updating interesting items and requests from collectors to view certain things. So in the days leading up to the auction, we will be posting in our news section a number of items that we think are of particular interest.